Hey guys, so today's video I'm going to show you what's going on in the garden, and I'm going to be picking beans. First, I got some flowers blooming that I think I need to share with you. They're just too pretty not to. Got some zinnias opened up. This is a bachelor button. Here's some baby's breath blooming. And I'm not real sure if this is like a type of Cosmo maybe, because the way that the stem of it goes down to this plant, and it reminds me of a Cosmo. And then we got some more zinnias, and this is calendula that the bees are really enjoying. Here's another Cosmo. It's real frilly, real pretty. It's gonna have lots of pretty blooms on it. It's just, I love this shade of orange. I can't wait to see what the rest of the row ends up turning out to be, because it's supposed to be all oranges. This week I've been working on the front floor where I have like most of my perennials planted and got it cleaned up pretty well. I'm gonna come through and put a layer of newspaper down, and then I think I'm just gonna try some bed shavings, like wood shavings with chips, and kind of mulch it, and that might help me without having to do a whole lot of weeding. But I'm going to show you these pole beans. They are getting taller than the hog panel, and I've been trying to like move them around, and I even have a rattlesnake pole beans that are growing, and they're so beautiful. I am really loving the colors and the varieties that I've got going on up here. Here's one of the purple potted, and the vine is just so purple and so beautiful, and it's clear coming up here. Clear up here now, winding around, but I haven't seen any beans on it that are, yeah, I haven't seen any beans coming on it just yet. I've got lots of blooms, lots of blossoms, so that's promising. Oh, look at this guy. It's just hanging up here, hanging out. But I was trying to get them to come down and to wind around, but they, I need to do some more winding, and then they'll just keep winding along. And this guy too, it wants to be up in the air, and there's nothing there for it to wind on. Oh, here is one. Here's one bean just starting, and I can't wait to see it when it gets a little bit bigger. So it's something funny. I have this volunteer tomato. I'm really hoping it's a yellow, but I'm not sure. And this pole bean is going to act as my support for it. And as you can see up through here, it's winding around the tomato plant. And then once it gets grown out some more, I'm gonna get it to wind around here. And it's gonna help hold my tomato up against this panel so it doesn't flop over on the ground. Really neat how this is panning out and working on this spot. And then over here is the rattlesnake pole beans, and I think these are just so cool. I've been really enjoying them. And then here, check out these rattlesnake pole beans. I am in love with them. I just think they are so cool. The colors. Color on it is just gorgeous. This purple streaking on it. So pretty. So this is my first year really growing pole beans. I usually just do bush beans, and I am really enjoying the process of them. I'm going to show you guys. I was trying to do like a little Three Sisters garden with the corn, the beans, and some pumpkins, but I'm going to try planting one more pumpkin before it gets any later in the season. Only one of the 3 mounds of pumpkins grew, so I'm hoping that if I plant like a smaller type of pumpkin, I'll still have time to experiment with it and see how it turns out. But with the corn, every other row, which ended up being about 3 rows of pole beans I planted along the corn, I think one was called a Kentucky Wonder. One I got from a relative, and I don't remember what kind it was. The third type is called an asparagus yard long. So I'm really excited to see how these pole beans turn out. Let me show you some of them. Some of these pole beans have already gotten taller than my corn. Not that my corn's like super tall. I have one kind called Sunglo, and it's already tasseled. And then I have a second kind, it's peaches and cream, and I'm just starting to see a few tassels, and I was hoping it was going to get a little bit taller. So I don't know how my corn's going to turn out this year, but the pole beans are looking fabulous. And check out this guy. He is like huge. He's gotten all the way up here, wrapping around just what I wanted to see. I think this is so neat. And it's reaching, trying to get over to this one. And here's another one that's come up and just winding. They're just winding around. Except for I don't want that. That's a beetle. And yeah, look, these are just so big, so cool. See the corn over here? It's already, that's the Sunglo. It's already tasseled. It's supposed to be shorter anyhow. It's only supposed to be about 4 to 4.5 foot tall. So we'll see what kind of a harvest we get off of them. And then here, this one's just, this is the peaches and cream, and it's just starting. I just didn't notice that yesterday. I just seen a few things tasseling today, and I know this one was supposed to be taller. But we'll take what we get. We'll see. We'll see how it turns out. This is, and this, I haven't seen any tasseling on this one just yet, but it's coming, because it's all, see how this is all curvy coming up? This is all trying to get ready to tassel. But this is my glass corn, and it is supposed to be a lot taller, so this one's supposed to get pretty tall. We'll see what we get out of it. So this year I planted a variety pack of squashes. I have a summer squash mix and a winter, like a storage type of squash. The winter ones I just planted a few weeks ago, so they're coming up and they're looking like they're going to be doing pretty good. And the summer squashes, I'm seeing some yellow and some zucchini coming. And I also think there was like a turban style squash and maybe a fourth one, and I don't remember what it was. But I will definitely, we will be eating some squash here really soon. Let me show you how big they're getting. So here's our yellows coming along. Got 3 right here trying. And then check out this guy. I'll be eating these guys before too long. They grow so fast. Here's some more yellow coming on too. This plant also. So most of the tomatoes that I grew this year are called determinate, and they're not going to get quite as tall. Now Matthew, the type that he bought this year, is an indeterminate, and it is very tall. So here's the stake, easily 4 foot in standing, and that's how tall his tomatoes are. They're already taller than that. So this is kind of fun because I don't think I really remember ever having a tomato quite this tall. I'm gonna have to figure out something for it to go because it wants to keep growing. My mom had a tomato last year that she grew in her garden, and it got, I think she said like 8 foot tall. It was really tall. So I'm excited to see how tall his get. That'll be a first for us. This year we planted 6 rows of beans, not to mention like the pole beans and some other, a few other bush beans that were just the sample pack that we were trying. I've already picked through 3 plus a little bit of a 4th row. So I'm gonna try to finish these last 2.5 or so rows of beans today. And then I'm gonna have to start all over because I see yellow beans that have gotten yellow. They were still had green on them a couple of days ago, and I'm gonna have to get them picked soon also. These are full. Got lots of beans to pick. I'm going to be picking beans for a lot of days. So before I get picking on these beans, I want to share with you, I am going to be doing a giveaway for a fall garden seed package. I will put in a mix of seeds. I will give you a list in the description because I had a pile of seeds and I just need to go through and decide which ones would be best for a fall garden. And then that way, if you want to do a garden but didn't get one in for summer, you still have time to plant a fall garden. And a fall garden is just as much fun as a summer and a spring garden. It's going to be a lot of you're going to see a lot of things that you'd plant in the springtime because there are going to be a lot of cooler weather crops. For where I live, I'm in zone 6B, and our first frost date is around mid-October. It's looking like October 13th, and that's giving us like 13 weeks, which gives us plenty of time to plant lots of stuff. I'm even going to plant a little bit more corn and just a tiny bit more of beans. Probably not these green and yellow, but some pink and purple ones that I have, just because I know I've got the time to, and it'd be nice to have a last little bit of fresh before it's winter time. Eliza's showing the flowers and naming them for Mia. Anyhow, so I know that I will be able to plant a few more things in the garden before frost comes. And even when frost comes, some things taste sweeter after they've had a frost on them, a frost or two. And so your root vegetables are okay if they get a little bit of frost to them, as long as it's not like a deep, as long as you don't get a deep frost, your root vegetables will be fine for a little while past that first frost that you get. So I'm excited to share that with you. What you are going to have to do to get into the drawing for these seeds is you're going to need to like and comment on a YouTube video telling me what you like seeing or something that you would like to see more of. And you will also need to subscribe to my newsletter if you haven't subscribed already. If you already subscribed to my newsletter, just shoot me an email saying you'd like to be entered into the fall garden seed giveaway. I will announce the winner in my next video, which will be next Saturday, July 24th, so that you guys can see who the winner is. And whenever I do that announcement, I will lay out all the seeds so you can see what the winner is getting. Well, this was fun, guys. I really enjoyed walking around with you. It's so magical. I love it, and to know that I am getting all this stuff ready for winter is super exciting. And while I'm picking the beans, I also get to enjoy the beautiful flowers that I have and the pollinators that are around. The girls said they seen some more monarchs today in the field behind us, because behind us is a field of clover, and so they were over there with that. Alright guys, until next time, blessings.